And then we got another Eli Roth movie, Hostel. You know, granted, people call it a ripoff of Saw, but I mean, yeah, I guess a little. I don't know. I get the feeling that, um, you know, it's kind of a great minds think alike type of thing, where you know they were both written or conceived around the same time, and then one just came out before the other and was more successful, and I guess done better. Um, but I liked the premise of this. I liked how, you know, it kind of started off like, you know, some kind of National Lampoon's, you know, TNA type comedy. You know, obnoxious college kids, you know, just having a good time in some other country. Um, and it was really lighthearted at first, and just kind of, and I appreciated that. It was like just, I don't know if you could call it build up, but just leading up to the first kill or the first torture scene. Like it just, I enjoyed it as kind of a, can I call it, just, you know, a raunchy, silly vacation type movie. And then shit gets serious. It's like, okay, someone drugged them. You know, they were at a club, and, you know, who wants to get drugged? Like, you know, that shit could really happen, just like cabin fever, you know, contagious diseases. Like, it's plausible. So, if it's plausible, you know, I can appreciate it. And, I thought the main character was Derek, and I kind of like how they killed him off. You know, they pull a psycho kind of thing, and, you know, killed him off. And then I didn't like this guy. He was annoying at first, but then, you know, you were kind of stuck with him after this guy got killed. And then, I don't know, his character arc, like, I was rooting for the guy, you know, by the end, because just the way that girl lured him to the art show, and it's like, and he knew something was up, but he couldn't really put his finger on it. And, you know, I would have felt the same way. So it's like, circumstantially I could relate to the characters. And, you know, it's like eventually he was all alone there just with that one Asian girl. And, like, I don't know, if I ever went on a vacation overseas, and, you know, with my friends, and then they just start disappearing little by little in a foreign country where you don't know your way around, you don't know the language. It's like, it's really scary, you know, that way. At least for me, like, I would be, you know, freaked out. So I could appreciate that plot twist or turn or whatever. And then, you know, by the end I was really rooting for the guy, and he made it out alive. And, you know, obviously not until Hostel 2 when he got killed, but I don't have that, so I'm only talking about Hostel 1. But, you know, I didn't care that it was kind of similar to Saws. Like, it wasn't all about a puzzle or a trap. It was just kind of, you know, being in the wrong place at the wrong time. You know, that could, you know, stuff like that happens in the real world. So on that level, I can appreciate it. And then, I don't know. I like Eli Roth's directing style. I don't know what everybody hates about him. I really don't get it. Anyway, next up, we have Mommie Dearest. I first saw this as a kid. Didn't realize the camp factor of it. I didn't know it was like a, I didn't know it was known for its campiness. I didn't really pick up on that back then. I just, you know, I actually took it seriously as a serious movie. And, you know, I was like, I was rooting for that kid, you know, Joan Crawford. The bitch was crazy. Like, you know, I mean, and again, you know, there are a lot of parents like that who just, you know, just crazy, go crazy on their kids like that. And like I only watched it from a kid's perspective. It's like, and I took it seriously, but then as I grew up and started getting, you know, wind of all the I guess everyone, you know, talking about the campiness of it and just making fun of it all the time. I didn't really get that until I finally saw it again as an adult, and now I could see why, you know, how it's real, you know, so campy. It's funny. Like, some of the scenes were pretty funny just from the acting, the overacting that, you know, what's her name? Shit. Faye Dunaway does, you know. Her overacting is pretty funny. I can see that now. I didn't pick up on it then, but I get it now. So now I could appreciate it on two levels, you know. The crazy bitch of a mother, and then the overacting, you know, especially the choking scene where she's kind of like, ah! They got the light kind of flashing on her eyes. Like, yeah, it was, I guess, you know, it's funny, but I can still appreciate it as a serious movie, and I think they made it as a serious movie. They didn't know that it was going to be campy, and I can see why Faye Dunaway kind of disowns the role now, because everybody makes fun of it. It's like I rarely run across a serious review of it, you know, taking it seriously as a serious movie, you know, considering the subject matter, and but you know, I don't know, like she was really good, even though she overacted. She really it was a memorable performance, I thought. And I thought the kid did pretty good too, you know. You know, her facial expressions and acting, and I don't know, it, like, again, it's plausible, so you know, I could appreciate it on that level. You know, I'm not familiar with like Joan Crawford. You know, I'm not a fan of her movies or anything like that. But you know, I guess the movie affected me most as a kid. So it's like, you know, you see movies as a kid, they have an impact on you. You kind of always like them. You know, even as an adult. But yeah, Mommie Dearest. So I'm pretty sure that went over 10 minutes. I got 5 more, I guess, guilty pleasures to talk about, but I'm going to do a separate video for that because it's all on one DVD. So stay tuned for the next one.